May I pick a rose from your garden and plant it in my heart, so I can abide in this fragrance of yours, even when we are apart.
It's something I've been trying to kind of convey more and more, because I still feel some people feel very, very present. I feel like they're really here inside the heart, and others I still feel like we're still kind of on the edge. I don't know how that way is, but to have that kind of awareness that comes when you naturally care about something is not an effort at all. If you really care about something, it's not an effort, it's not a task, it's not a job, it's just something that you can tune into. And I feel that when I say here, because there are still people who feel like, this is my place. I don't really care to have a place. I don't have this kind of such a strong feeling for mine. I feel that we're here. Today it was funny because we just been making a chair, this bench down in the workshop. And we made this bench, and at the end, just for fun, I said, let's sign it. So I started to sign it and put everybody who was there name on it, because everyone participated somehow in it. Even one point, we had a very strong thing at the back of the bench. I wanted to change that, to make a shape of it. And Krishna Bai couldn't change the blade. We couldn't do it. I said, oh no, who knows how to do this? And suddenly Tiamir just shows up. Tiamir, the other chair, oh yeah. Boom, change it, the job is done. Everything that we're doing, somebody comes in. And when you see it like that, then it's very pleasant, in fact. Mm-hmm. And I don't have the feeling I did, I did. I is all of us actually doing it. And my whole life has been like that. It's been on everybody's life. I don't think anyone realizes that your life could not be by itself. The whole flow of energies are coming to participate, but because of the sense of you and me, sometimes we don't really see and appreciate that. Like I gave the example, there's not a wave that can be a wave by itself. Each movement, each wave has the total ocean behind it. And each person, so to speak, is only consciousness of the full, when you have the eyes to see it, because everything connects with you without even being conscious about it. Our lives are interwoven with thousands of people without you knowing it. And I feel that it's a lack of insight, and because we are so sometimes living in the space suit of our own egos, we're not really conversant with life in the broadness that our spirit really is like that. I gave the example of this place, like we're here. And even if you're here for 3 weeks, sometimes I say, if you came in 2 days ago, you're going to be a host to the person coming today. I don't think that's so much, it's like, there's something in that I find that human beings are very slow to learn. Even the insects demonstrate more unity, more cooperation than us, simply because of this strong notion of identity, ego, and individuality and autonomy and so on. It's a high price for consciousness to pay in order to have the sense of this exclusive life, which I find is very, very lacking. And so I feel like the people living here should take that opportunity. Like everything in this life and in Monte Sahaja is here to contribute to our own evolution, our own awakening. Everything is if you have the mind for it. If you don't have the mind for it, you miss everything. Your life has just been one great missing. You're missing the obvious, missing the truth, missing the most simple, missing the most pure, missing the holy, missing love, missing unity, and all to in defense of this sense of this me. I find it very, very shallow way. So everything is an exercise. When I see people come here, also we have a wave of people actually coming in tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Then to take care of them, to welcome them, just like you see me doing. I don't want to respect anybody's individuality anywhere. Like, this is me and my life. I say, okay, go live somewhere else, go live it. I don't feel that it's big enough, actually. And if only we could take out this I, me, my, mine out of the mind, it would be something very beautiful. So I'm wanting to say, because all of you are here, and don't just do what you can, just do your best in everything. The funny thing is, when you do your best from your heart, everything becomes easy. When you do things from your mind, everything's a struggle. You start to, I don't know about this, I don't feel in the mood. You have so many things have to be right before you can be right. You say, but how can I do something from my heart? This is your satsang. To meet the people like they are your relatives. This is how it's been for me all my life, actually. I didn't know why all my life, but particularly this part of my life, the last 15, 17 years, has been that. More than that, in fact. When you can see the world as your family or as your enemy, how could you choose to see everyone as opposites? When it's easy to just have the attitude, not to go around and call someone or go and hug someone, but to have this inner attitude. My God, we're just missing so much. Even our teenage years, the best teenage years is that spent in the Holy Spirit. It's not that. It's never was that. The best childhood is the childhood spent being educated in the Spirit. The best adult life is one growing, evolving inside the Spirit of consciousness. The greatest old age is to have someone graying up into the Spirit of God. I don't see any period, any age in the human span that you can say, yeah, that one should be, just to go out and enjoy first and then come to. Like even in India, they have a thing where, this is your life, you grow your family, then you do your job, then you do everything, and then you go to Varanasi and spend the rest of your life finding God before you die. I don't believe in every part of a person's life, from childhood right down to the last breath, is best lived aware of God, aware of truth. I don't see any life that can compare with that. I've not seen it yet. I don't see any person's life. I'm not going looking anyway. I don't have any confidence enough or interest to look. But just along the way, I've not seen any life being lived outside of the consciousness of being that I can say, well, wow, that's been good. I don't see anything. But we are so much caught up in so many concepts which are just ill-conceived and burn this beautiful energy, this beautiful life force in service to delusions. The funny thing is, in a way, with this egoic identity, I was walking today, I was looking, and I was walking along the top, walking around, and I see that weeds, just nobody plants them. They grow, they are so prolific that even in the desert, they come up. I look on the road, we're run over by trucks every day, and I see weeds coming up. But a good plant, you have to plant it, you have to look after it, you have to shelter it, you have to make sure that it's got enough nutrients, everything like that. It reminds me a little bit, just I was reflecting that it's like our ego. Bad habits flourish very easy. Good habits you have to cultivate on this planet. I don't know about other planets, but on this planet, it's very easy to go with negative attitudes and habits and selfishness and so on. It seems like the scale is not balanced. It's like it starts off, it looks like that. And then I realize it only is like that because we start off with a handicap by identifying as body, mind and ego. Then everything is just like you're just swimming in sludge. For me, it's like that. And the sludge life can seem easy because it's what we're accustomed to. But just this morning, like that, walking. Oh my God, look at this. Yeah. The things which are weeds, nobody plant a weed. And they're the most prolific. You leave your garden unattended for 2 weeks, the weeds are in. You don't just see an apple tree springs up out of nowhere. A lovely, rose out of nowhere. It's always a weed. Uninvited, they come, bring their friends, like that. And it seems like somehow on this level, where the world is perceived from the level of personalities, it is just a struggle. Like human beings have to live by laws and by force and so on. That if someone doesn't knock you down on the road, it's not because they have a value for your life. It's just because they have a value for theirs. If they hit you down, I might sort of go to jail. It's not out of love. We're not living from love. Would I like to change that? I don't know what I want. My life cannot help that. But I have no ambitions in it because you know what? All of this is the work of consciousness. All of it is the work of God. But apart from that, yes and no. Yes and no. Yes, I'm here. Like this. And no, I'm not so invested in this because I don't think there's an end to this except by knowing yourself. I don't see that there's an end to it apart from knowing yourself. The merry-go-round, not so very merry either. I love to see the good emerging, but very often you realize that good is mostly in potential. Like it's not really being like given a chance or something. And yet that I don't want to call it treasure. I don't want to call it treasure. That priceless thing is always here, untouched. If that was not here, then my God, it would be a horrible world. If it wasn't for the fact that the perfect is our own self and source, if it wasn't for this, I would not want to be in this place at all. This is why I say the human thing by itself doesn't work. It has never worked. It's always been a struggle. It's always been an effort. It's always been, a coping. And always. That's why we dream so much. We have dreams. We're dreaming to get out of our dream or out of our nightmares. and yet something is here that is totally divine, totally pure. It is the starting point, the ending point. But my feeling is the whole opportunity of life is just to recognize this. But also the opportunity to put your energy into a lot of things. But to recognize this thing. What is my teaching? Emptiness. Emptiness is my teaching. Myself, my finding my life. Because out of that, the first seed comes. But that is not a seed. And the seed is the beingness itself. From the seed, everything comes. And I know that seed. We can all be here, but we can't keep here. We can all be here in this grand play, but nothing of it you can keep. You can only find out yourself. God doesn't own anything. God does not own a single thing. And God is everything. You have to find the truth so purely that you don't have to reminisce. You don't need good memories. When you're timeless, you don't need good memories. Because everything is in you. Don't tell those old, tired stories. Because the one who sees, who understands, is always fresh. Just fresh. Why? Because you're empty. You're not the owner of anything. You're not the keeper of things. I will not tell a human being they're not free. I just can't get myself to say that. But I can say what makes us feel we are bound. And the cost of that. There have been times in the human history where what I would call golden ages of human beings. When not everywhere in the world, but in pockets where the truth was the most sacred thing. that you would have the company of the sages, not just of a sage. Like that. But I don't feel that that time has passed. I feel it is our turn also. Why should we be lesser than they? I mean, are we cursed in some way? I don't feel so. I don't know what it takes, but I know that I don't have to do any research on that. And just energetically, when you're in that space, that synchronicity or that resonance, then you know it. It's not just a mental thing, not mental spirituality. Don't have any time for that. That's one of the worst things. And as I said before, don't be wasting time speaking about truth. Talking about truth is not truth. Be truth. Be true. Be true. We should not be thinking, oh, the days of Ramakrishna, oh, the days of Krishna and Arjun and those. Oh, in fact, you should be today. Today. Because time doesn't know any difference. The differences are in the mind. When you read words of Lord Shiva or Krishna or Christ or the Buddha or something, why should you not read it like they're your words also? What gets in the way of that? That should be a good reflection. Without arrogance. I don't think any sage came just to lead and to create followers, but to release beings from ignorance.
We can no longer hide this inner light. It's shining oh so bright. The only thing burning in my chest is to rest forever. May I pick a rose from your garden and plant it in my heart, so I can abide in this fragrance of yours.